Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? This right here is the 2023 Audi RS5 Competition, and I'm gonna show you why this competition package, which costs $16,000, might be worth it. All right guys, so yes, I did say that this is a $16,000 competition package that's equipped on this 2023 Audi RS5. So we're gonna go over what makes it unique because of that extra $16,000 package, as well as just an overall walk around of this vehicle. So starting up front, guys, this does have a black optics package, so a lot of it is blacked out as far as the Audi logo goes, the RS5 badging, obviously the black front grille. You do get a carbon fiber front lip here that is like a matte carbon, which is cool. Black plastic on the side vents, but they're all functional, guys. Everything here is functional. And then you do get carbon on this nice little side plate right here, which is a nice touch. If you guys are wondering, this is the Ascari blue paint, which honestly, man, looks so good in person. It's actually insane. The pictures don't do it justice. I mean, there's pictures in certain lines that will look amazing, but this color has been turning so many heads around the street. It's been insane. I wasn't expecting it. People are always looking at just kind of seeing how it reflects off the light because it looks insane. So they did a good job with it. But let's start with one of the first main things you get as part of the competition package, and it starts with the wheels. These are the Y-spoke wheels. They measure 275, 30, R20, so they're 20 inches, and they're on Pirelli P0 tires. These are a unique compound you get as part of the competition package. And that enable this to get a top speed of 180 miles an hour, which is 25 higher than a normal RS5. And sitting right behind the wheels are the front carbon ceramic brakes, which are huge. And they're standard on the competition package in the US. If you're outside the US, you can get it separate from the competition package. But what I mean by separate is you have to get the competition package and then you can add it on afterwards. It's not required as a bundle like you do in the US, where they just come together bundled into that $16,000 price tag. So if someone hasn't modified the wheel and you see these unique Y-spoke wheels, you'll know they have a competition package, and obviously the carbon ceramic brakes. There isn't an indication on the outside of the carbon fiber mirror caps, which I don't think that's a good one because anyone can put carbon fiber mirror caps on their Audi RS5 and you might think that. So the wheels and the brakes are the first giveaway. Over on the side, you do have Audi RS5 badging, just blacked out, pretty subtle, nothing insane there. Keyless entry and go on the door. You have black side skirt right there, which is nice. And one thing I want to mention about the wheels is that they each save 4.4 pounds on each corner. And the competition package removed a bunch of sound deadening, mostly in the side, in the firewall. And that combines with 35 pounds of total weight savings compared to a normal RS5. So just keep that in mind. So there's a performance advantage to having these wheels, as well as just the competition package from a weight performance standpoint. You get a fuel cap door here, pretty standard stuff. Around back, you do get the, fake vents on the side, which, I mean, it's more for aesthetic purposes. If we come around the back, you get a nice matte carbon. Everything around here is matte carbon, no gloss, which I love the consistency there. And it goes around the back towards this like kind of faux diffuser. And then you get your exhaust with black exhaust tips. And we'll show you when we get inside. When you turn on this car, you can go into accessories mode and have it rev a little bit higher for you when you actually start the engine up. So we'll show what that's like once we get inside. And then when we come on top real quick, you do get a black shark fin antenna, a large glass roof. There's no carbon fiber roof on the competition package, which would have been nice to see. And then real quick, I do want to show you guys the trunk, because you do get, I believe, more storage space in the trunk of a RS5 compared to an M3 or M4. I'll have to double check the numbers, but I believe when I researched in the past, that was the difference. But the trunk is decent size, pretty deep in there. You get nice netting here, your toolkit that's strapped in. But you get this toolkit right here. This is a unique one because of the suspension on this vehicle. So I first want to show the box, the toolkit, before we get into the suspension, because this is what you get with the competition package. Obviously, standard coilover tools to adjust your ride height. But let's talk about that, because this has three-way adjustable. Let's close this here. Has three-way adjustable coilover suspension. So the competition package sits 0.4 inches lower than a normal RS5, so it's already dropped a bit, and you can adjust with those tools. You can adjust an additional 0.4 inches of ride height. So you can lower it 0.8 inches, which is already pretty low. And the fact that you get coilover stock from the factory is pretty wild. I'm gonna try to sneak my phone in here for you guys so you can take a look at the suspension. So we'll peek up right there. Yeah, so pretty much, guys, what you're looking at is a 3-way adjustable suspension. I'm gonna go do a video on this specifically, so to explain kind of the benefits and the adjustability you have with it. What you basically get is adjustments to your high-speed compression, your low-speed compression, as well as your rebound, and then obviously you can adjust the ride height. So that's pretty insane to see from the factory, manually adjustable in the front and the rear. I can't show you guys the rear, and that's why you have those tools as well, as to if to remove the wheel and get those tools in to actually adjust the rear suspension. But if you're actually serious about taking this to the track or want a nice setup for the roads that you're on, you can make those adjustments on your own and just kind of set it and forget it. Or if you're actually trying to really maximize your time on the track, you can optimize your suspension tuning depending if the track has a lot of bumps or if it's a relatively flat and smooth track. You can fine tune that, which is nice. All right, one real quick thing I want to show on the outside are the headlights. I did turn them on. You can kind of see it right here, daytime running lights. They look really cool at night. They're sequential when you have the turn signal on, and I turned it on here, and which is hard to see. Okay, that's a better indication. These are what the turn signals look like when it's on. It's nice and sequential. It looks cool, and it replaces the daytime running light once you're engaging them. So that's cool. But let's hop inside real quick, guys, and show you what you get. Starting with the seats. I want to show you guys the seats first because they're unique for the competition package. You get piano black on the side, this button here, which you can adjust forward and back. You can pull this if you want to have people sitting in the back, which we'll show you guys. But these seats are leather. You get RS in black, so really a stealth embroidered onto the backrest. Alcantara just in the center, which this is a very soft Alcantara, but it's also really grippy when you're actually sitting in it. Feels great. And then you do get thigh extensions, which is nice. But these bolsters are adjustable up top. You get your adjustments right here, your lumbar support, standard power adjustments, and then this is actually massaging seats. You get different massages in the center screen. We'll show you guys that once that's engaged. Oh, very nice seats with the RS, so unique to that RS, the RS model. And then going down here, you get RS on the floor mats. You get the aluminum pedals, which is nice. And let's go down here to the door sill, the RS5. No indication that's a competition, guys. As far as badging, they didn't do any of that stuff. They just put a bunch of RS badges as they do on most RS models. Let's go to the door panel real quick. You get pretty standard RS materials up top, or you get standard A5 materials up top. Nothing crazy there. Nice Alcantara here. And then the matte carbon fiber inlay, which I love. Audi's matte carbon, probably the best looking and best feeling, I feel like, amongst the competition. It might be. I like how they incorporate it, and it suits their design really well. You get memory seats, lock unlock, your handles, which feel great, look great, door switches, mirror controls, trunk control, and a nice little pocket here, and then Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is nice. Let's go show the back seats real quick. Once you get in, you'll actually, first thing you'll notice are the seat belts, which are unique. The competition, you get the nice little red trim on the side, which is great. Let's show you guys the back real quick. Same treatment on the seat belts. They did not scamp, and it's only a 2-seater in the back, so there's no middle seat belt. And you get a nice little handle here. You can bring down the cup holder. I think you just go like, how do you do it actually? Oh, individual cup holders. They have very clever mechanisms. I always appreciate that. This little cubby here, you can fold that, lift that back up. This tray here. You do get vents in the back, 12 volt, and then relative temperature controls and AC controls back here. Other than that, little pocket, armrest, pretty straightforward. And a little cup holder, actually, a little baby cup holder in the corner. I missed that initially. Seat back netting, pretty standard stuff. Let's go in here, let's push it back, and let's sit inside. So hop in here. Let's close the door. And let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. We'll do 2 starts back to back. I've had to let the battery charge and run for a little bit, so we're not going to be hurting the battery doing multiple starts, guys. So don't worry about that. What I'm going to do is first not have my foot on the brake, hit the engine start button. we're gonna be in accessories mode. And don't worry guys, everyone gets a check engine light when the accessory modes are on. It's a standard thing on all cars. Now I'm gonna go from comfort, as you guys can see right there. You zoom in on that, to dynamic mode. Let's go to dynamic. There we go. So let's actually start in comfort. So in comfort mode, if I do an engine start, look at the RPMs. They'll go up to like just above like 15, kind of like 1700 RPM. Ready? There you go, like yeah, 1800 RPM. Nothing crazy. Let's turn it off, all right? Let's go back into accessories mode. I'll show you real quick. Seatbelt delivery mechanism pops up, kind of like on BMWs. But let's go into dynamic mode, which we'll do right there. And now if I put my foot on the brake, start it up, get some pops. And we'll let you guys listen to what that's like on the outside. I'll put a clip right here. And that's nice. So it's a nice little touch. It doesn't make a big difference. Nothing's gonna let you get away with the 4,000 RPM rev limiter you get, which is unfortunate. But that's just what regulations has gotten us to. So I'm gonna push the steering wheel further back so you guys can really see. It's a manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel. This is a full Alcantara wrapped with nice red stitching on the inside. Standard switch gears. You do get a heated steering wheel, which is Alcantara. That's not common. BMW doesn't normally do that on their Alcantara steering wheels from what I've seen. And this one is. And when it's warm, it actually feels amazing. Warm Alcantara feels so good. You get an RS button here, which you can engage on top of dynamic mode. So they're independent and not really associated with each other. But really nice steering wheel, RS badging. There's sensors here to make sure your hands are on the wheel for like the drive assist, because there is adaptive cruise control and all that good stuff. I'm gonna turn off the heated seats. It's cold earlier today. But really quickly, let's go out of comfort or out of dynamic into comfort mode. So let's talk about the drive modes real quick, because on the competition package, comfort is the same between RS5 and RS5 Comp. When you go into dynamic mode, there are actually different dynamic mode tunings for the competition versus the regular RS5. This will have different shift point tunings, as well as a different traction control intervention, stability control intervention. So it lets you basically step it out more easily, which is nice. Okay, but going into the drive modes really quickly, you go into vehicle, you go into Audi Drive Select, and then you have comfort, auto, dynamic, which is great. And then you can get into your sport shift, you go into manual, that automatically puts you into M mode, which is fine. But then you have your RS1 and RS2 settings. And these are two configurable RS modes. So they're intended to be kind of like an M button on a BMW. You tap that and you get your different settings. You have your drive, if you want to be sportier or more balanced, steering, engine sound, present is like they should have called it sport, like come on. And then they're the differential, how loose you want it to get as far as like being able to get you to oversteer. And it's the same for the RS2. Nothing different there. Same settings. They're just two different configurations. If you want RS1 to be your more mellow, but it sounds good setting, you can quickly go to that. And that button will just be on your steering wheel, which is fine. And then you want RS2 to be your more like kind of full, pedal to the metal, balls to the wall. RS2 could be that button. You just press it a second time, and it's not only why I want to sound good, I actually want to get up and go and mob. You got that as well. And I went in a parking lot just for this part, but when it's dark outside, you'll see there's a unique, where is it? Yeah, unique puddle light for this one. You just say like Audi Sport. This has a really cool design to it. Looks awesome at night, and I actually prefer it. I think it's really cool. You get your virtual cockpit, guys. That's pretty standard stuff. Your light switches here with your vents, with the carbon fiber trim surround. You do get tasteful piano black. It's not everywhere. It's done minimally. They do a lot of it here actually, but that's it. There's no piano black everywhere. You just get the nice matte carbon here, little cubby. I think you can put your phone or your key if you want. A little compartment here for a phone, cup holders, but you also have a wireless charger, USB-C in the back, USB-A in the front. Maybe just raise this up here. You can set it as an armrest. If you want to increase the height, you can do that. And you lift it all the way up and it resets. So let's talk about the AC controls. Dual zone, heated, not ventilated seats. And then you get your AC controls, which are sensitive when you put your finger on them. That does give you contextual menus, which is nice. So that's really cool. I'm going to lower the air here. Going on to the infotainment system, pretty straightforward Audi stuff, but you do get unique RS monitoring because this is an Audi RS5. You can tap on that. It tells you your temperatures of everything, of all your systems, coolant, engine oil, brakes, transmission fluid, and then your differential in the back. You can swipe over to your G meter if you want. You can reset those values, and then you can look at tire pressure. Once you start to drive, it'll calculate and display that. Also in the center gauge. I do have the pretty traditional cockpit, Audi virtual cockpit setup. You can change that. I can go here. This is kind of the most cool view. You get your map in the middle. It lowers the tachometer pods. But if I want to actually adjust that further, I can go into settings, display and brightness, and then Audi virtual cockpit. And you get 3 different setups. RS Sport, you can configure it. So you have your different fuel level. You can actually not show your fuel level if you don't want to. I like to show that. So if you go to RS Performance, change now, and you configure it. This one actually does not show your fuel level. You just get your range estimate, and that's it. Additional displays, you can choose to show your fuel level or your engine data. It's really up to you, which is nice. So you have these 3 presets. You can configure each of them, and you can only switch between them when you are parked. While you're driving, you can't switch them. So there's a configuration here as well. And if we go add a view, this is the runway. So you rev it and it goes down. I personally don't like this view. It's not really intuitive. I like the RS Performance or the RS Sport, just because they're more traditional. I'm used to them personally. So going up top here, simple auto dimming rear view mirror, except along the edges. And there were some cars that were behind me that were really bugging me on these edges. It was really bright and it would hit your eye, and that's not pleasant. I wish there was a digital rear view mirror. I'm just a fan of that these days as more cars start to adopt them. On your controls up here, you get a microphone array, your lights, pretty simple stuff. And then you have your sunroof, which is pretty big. It's nice. You get a shade, and then you can tilt it up by pushing it up. Also, you can pull it again and lift the whole thing up above the vehicle's roof. But we're gonna close that because it's pretty toasty right now. Moving down to the shifter, it is wrapped in Alcantara, which is nice. I mean, long term, these things will wear out and they will get matted in because of your hands oils and stuff like that. But pretty simple selector. If you have it into sport, you press park, it'll shift it over for you. That's a nice little touch. All Audis do that basically. So no need to worry there. As far as these buttons right here, blank switches, which is surprising on a fully loaded Audi RS5, but I guess they didn't really have much to put there. Drive select, traction control, park assist, and then your park distance sensors. And then you can turn off the screen by pressing this button here if you want to wipe it down from fingerprints, because it will get fingerprints on it. Going along the top here, you do AC vents, and this is actually not functional. I couldn't get it to function for the life of me. They look real, but they're not. But it's a nice design feature, so I will give them that. A nice Quattro badging because it's an all-wheel drive system. And then you get the matte carbon fiber inlay. So before we get into it, I do want to open up the hood and talk about performance. So let's turn off the engine and let's pop this thing up. Under the hood, guys, is a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. Makes 444 horsepower. The performance hasn't changed from any of the RS5s. And to be honest, the competition does not give you an ounce of additional performance. They did not touch the engine, but they touched basically everything else. We get up close. The fans are still running because to cool it down. But you do see a nice little carbon fiber plastic piece, or plastic and carbon up top with RS and Audi badging, which is nice. I mean, they put a little dressing in there to make it look cool. But performance-wise, nothing's changed. They really focused on the power delivery, so the transmission tuning, the differential tuning, dynamic mode tuning, as well as the suspension. So yes, you can see this as a $16,000 suspension package or handling package, but they found it to be not worth updating the powertrain figures for this engine because of emissions and cost. So, to be fair, 0 to 60 on this, they're anticipating to be 0.1 seconds quicker than a standard RS5, and that's thanks to the stickier rubber, lighter wheels, which give you less unsprung mass. So, yeah. Now let's take this thing for a drive, and I'm not on track. I am on city roads, but I'm going to be putting it in dynamic mode. I've been driving in comfort, and again, if you've seen any other Audi RS5 video, you know how it drives in comfort. This one just is a competition, so it has a different suspension setup. I saw things about the Audi RS5 being a little bit floaty from like the straight piped video. I had experienced it on this suspension, so I can report on that. But let's get into it here. Okay, I mean, this thing has torque, 0 to 60 in the mid 3 seconds. So you have more than enough passing power, and then a little bit extra to have some fun. So you could definitely get in trouble with this thing. There's no engine start stop, so it drives like a normal car. They didn't bother doing that, which thank God they didn't, because that'd be annoying to have to deal with, and you just have to shut it off, which most people will be doing. But aside from that, guys, this car feels like just a premium Audi with some nice Alcantara day to day. It's not. I don't think it's overwhelmingly stiff. Even in comfort, it was very comfortable. I didn't feel like I was at all like jarred or anything. Like, there are bumps, but like you would have felt that in any car, to be real, unless you're like in a Rolls Royce or something. Okay, and you hear the nice little farts on the upshifts. So this is made into an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. It is not a dual clutch, but it's the same transmission they use on the Audi RS6, the Audi RS7, the BMW M3, and almost every single car on the planet. Whether it's a normal car or a high-performance car, it is just a different variant of that 8-speed ZF and tuned to the manufacturer's liking. So in this situation, it is more than sufficient. It's going to 8th gear, even in dynamic mode, while I'm cruising at 80, 70 miles an hour. You see there. So honestly, guys, at least, I don't know, I should have checked what clicks. You guys probably already know what suspension setting was up front, but I've liked it. I haven't had any complaints about it going around the city. And that lower ride height, I haven't had any issues with this thing scraping. I'm still being cautious going into drives and stuff, but it hasn't been like, oh my God, I'm gonna scrape, or oh my God, I did everything I can and I still scraped, you know? So we're in comfort right now. It will not hold gears as long. It'll hold a higher gear when you're at a lower speed. So I have to really get on it, downshifts. It'll still give you that power, but it'll take time for it to get into it. The nice thing is torque, it comes on very early and it's very linear. So what people think as a lag is mostly just it needing to downshift. There is a kick down, which puts you into the lowest gear possible, and it gets you into kind of like a power shift mode where it'll basically, okay, this guy wants full tilt for a little bit, let's give it to him. So you always have that option. The kick down on the throttle pedal is never a bad thing. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a heads up display too. I realized it was off. Whoever had it before me had it off. So you have a knob here. I want to talk about the heads up display because it does change. Like in normal mode, you just have your speed and stuff like that. But if I go into the RS mode, which I'll press right there, it'll go and show your shift. It'll show your gear. You can have a lap timer, your speed, and then as well as your coolant temp, which is pretty cool. As well as when you do actually get on throttle, it will have a shift light show up just above the numbers. You don't see it because it's not lit up, but when you're actually going to shift gears, it'll light up like a shift light, which is really cool. You want to go into manual mode and shift gears yourself. I like it. Oh yeah, I like it in dynamic mode. Definitely is the way to go. Like most things they put on these things. Like most Sport Plus modes you get on a high performance car. Did the same thing for the NSX, changed it completely, and it feels so cliche for saying it. changes the personality of the car. But this one more so, because you know you're getting a dedicated, more, call it exciting, tuned dynamic mode for the RS5 Competition. So yeah, while I sit in traffic, guys, I really do like this car. I think with the competition package, you get a lot of value, and you do get a very unique experience both on and off the track. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.